All right, very bad. And well, when you have some issues that are above you, what can you do? So quickly, good evening, everyone. I know some of those videos that have been captured on the YouTube live earlier will have shown that I'd given apology for not coming online for some weeks now. And moving on, I want to the part two of the um, paternity fraud as we started. Yes, it is because of some issues. I mean, of the fact that some of my friends on the radio had called me to come and talk about the matter, and I felt I'd done justice to that. So we can move on to another topic. But I've had a lot of my viewers and friends who had not really commented but had shown interest told me that no, I should make sure that I finish with the paternity fraud. I should talk about it and put an end to it. Because many of them were not actually um, on air or on the radio while I spoke about it. So many of them did not tune in while I spoke about it on the radio. So they want me to do the part two and finish with it. So everybody, ẹ kálẹ́ o gbogbo ilé. Bí mo ṣe ń sọ, a fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn obìnrin tó máa ń gbé ọmọ bà fọ́ṣun. A ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ ní bí ọ̀sẹ̀ bíi mẹ́rin sẹ́yìn. Mi ò lè wá sí orí ìwòran wa sórí afẹ́fẹ́ ní ọ̀sẹ̀ bíi mẹ́ta àbí mẹ́rin yẹn sẹ́yìn lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí mo ṣe gbígbé ọmọ bà fọ́ṣun apá kìíní. Nítorí pé àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ mi kan ti pè mí bọ́n ṣe gbọ́ ìgbà tí mo ṣe apá kìíní yẹn, wọ́n pè mí sórí program wọn ní orí rédíò. So ìgbà tán pè mí, wọ́n ní kí n wá sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn gan ṣì ń lọ ní Lágelú FM ní orí program True Talk with Chiquito. A sì máa ṣe lọ́la, a dẹ̀ máa ṣe ní Sunday tó ń bọ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nísìnyí ni pé àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ mi kan wà tán ní àwọn ò gbọ́ eléyìí tí mo ṣe lórí Crest FM, àwọn ò dẹ̀ gbọ́ eléyìí tí mo sọ nípa ẹ̀ lórí Lágelú FM, that they will still prefer that I finish pé kí n sì sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ̀, kí n parí ẹ̀, kí n fi gègé lé ní orí afẹ́fẹ́ ń bí. So agbẹjọ́rò yín orí afẹ́fẹ́ ló ti ń bá yín sọ̀rọ̀. Mo dẹ̀ ní láti tọrọ àforíjì, mi ò wá. Nǹkan tí mò ń sọ nìyẹn ní èdè òyìnbó kó tó di pé nẹ́tíwọ̀kì yẹn tí kò dáa. Mo fẹ́ tọrọ àforíjì pé ó lọ jáì díẹ̀ fún mi láti wá sí orí ìkànnì yìí ní bí ọ̀sẹ̀ bíi mẹ́rin sẹ́yìn. Àwọn iṣẹ́ ìlú kọ̀ọ̀kan tá à ń ṣe ni táwọn èèyàn bọ́n ṣe ń gbọ́ wa, wọ́n máa ń pè wá fún ìrànlọ́wọ́ tán bá ní wàhálà, pàápàá jùlọ ní police station. Mo rántí pé ní bí ọ̀sẹ̀ bíi mẹ́ta sẹ́yìn, ibẹ̀ la wà fún àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ kan láti gba àwọn kan sílẹ̀, and kò nílò pé ká wá máa pariwo ìyẹn lórí ìkànnì yìí. Ṣùgbọ́n iṣẹ́ tá a gbà náà ni iṣẹ́ ìlú ni, iṣẹ́ ìgbanisílẹ̀. So kò sí nǹkan tá a máa ṣe sí i, a máa ní láti ṣe náà ni. So ó pẹ́ mi láwọn ìgbà yẹn kí n tó padà délé. Mi ò dẹ̀ wá ní kò ṣeé ṣe fún mi bí mo ṣe ń dé yẹn pẹ̀lú gbogbo wàhálà tàárọ̀ níbi Saturday méjì sẹ́yìn yẹn láti tún wá bá wa sọ̀rọ̀. Mo tọrọ àforíjì pé mi ò wá torí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn wọ́n máa ń sọ fún mi pé kí ló dé tí mi ò wá. Ṣùgbọ́n ọ̀rọ̀ tá à ń sọ lọ tọ́pìkì yìí, nǹkan tí mo rò gangan ni pé ìgbà tí mo ti sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ̀ lórí afẹ́fẹ́ pé kò ní nílò pé kí n tún sọ̀rọ̀ mọ́ lórí ẹ̀ ní ìgbà tí mo sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ lórí rédíò, àwọn rédíò bíi méjèèjì tá a dẹ̀ ṣì ń sọ̀rọ̀ lọ nípa ẹ̀ náà lórí rédíò pẹ̀lú Òtítọ́ Ọ̀rọ̀ pẹ̀lú Chiquito, pé kò ní need kí n sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ̀ mọ́. But àwọn èèyàn ṣì ń sọ fún mi lábẹ́lẹ̀, àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ mi, bí n bá ṣe dé court, bí mo ṣe ń dé àárín ní ìjọ, ní gbogbo ẹ̀ náà sọ pé irọ́ o, ẹ máa lọ parí ni o, ẹ lọ ṣe tán o. Nítorí pé ti rédíò yẹn gbà mí àwo ò kí ń gbọ́, àwo ò gbọ́. So nígbà tá a dẹ̀ gbọ́ yẹn, ẹ máa lọ ẹ lọ ṣe tán ni kẹ́ ẹ lọ bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ̀ káwa náà mọ̀ bọ́ọ̀ ló ṣe ń lọ nípa ká gbé ọmọọba fún Ọ̀ṣun. So lónìí la máa ṣe part two ẹ̀. Mo rí Olúadé Covenant. I can see Olúadé Covenant online. Thank you, brother, for coming on. Thank you for watching. So going back to, I mean, taking it further, the issue of paternity fraud. Earlier we had talked, the last time we talked about it, I mean, in part one, whoever did not work, I mean, if you cannot, you will be able to catch up very well with this part two if you watch the earlier one that I've done. So just this way, by going there, go to my YouTube page, Debbie's World, Gender and the Law. Check it out and listen to it. Please help me subscribe, like it, subscribe, and share. Share to people. When you share, at least they too can watch it. They can learn. If they have their comments, they will put it there, and thereby we'll be able to move on. We have our topics that we'll be treating, but of course, with your comments, it will help us to also align and know what exactly you want us to talk about. And when you have questions or you have things that are bothering you that you really want us to beam the satellite of law on, let us also have it. We'll be able to discuss it and we'll, you know, be enlightened thereby. So thank you. So moving on, we have looked at what paternity fraud is. We had also discussed the causes of, what causes paternity fraud, what actually bring it on, why do women indulge in it. So we will now go on to the legality and also talk about the consequences, and we'll end it by asking some questions. We want us to comment. We'll ask some questions whether it is needful to do certain things or not. So moving on with the legality, what does the law even say about paternity fraud? Most especially because of the word fraud in it. It will surprise you that there is no section of the law that actually talks about that, that puts a definition and also puts a punishment to paternity fraud. Yes, a lot of women, engage in it. A lot of women. Okay, so yeah, the good brother, how is the city of, I don't know the city you are now in USA, but how are you and your family? So, like I was saying, there is no section of law in Nigeria here. There is no section of law from my research that had actually, defined. Okay, you from Michigan. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you. How is your family, my boys? How are they doing? And your wife? Thank you. So there is no section of law that actually define paternity fraud and also put a punishment to it. There is no section of the law. None. So a lot of people had been asking, with the havoc that this had caused, you can imagine for 30 years, some men will live with their wives. Such men will have expended a lot of money on the kids in the house. Such kids, even the emotional ties with those kids, they will have watched those kids grow. They will have, been with those kids. They will have spent money on them. They will have brought them up, believing, believing that those kids are their children. But at the end of the day, they will now find out, there'll be revelation that this man that you have nursed, that you have nurtured, that you have watched grow from cradle to adulthood is not your child. You can just imagine the trauma. These days, a lot of people joke about it. In Yoruba, a lot of Yoruba people, when they are greeting, àwọn ọmọ mi ńkọ́ o, how are my children? Now people have to be very careful at how they greet. So you cannot even, because the trust has been betrayed. A trust has been betrayed. And that is what makes a family. A family is where trust is built. But you now find such trust betrayed. So it is a lot of, problems now. But unfortunately, as heavy as the matter is, Adeola Kate, how are you, darling? How is daddy and mommy? My emeritus chair from Ekiti, how are you? So you can imagine that as heavy as this issue is in a family, some people discover, okay, well done, thank you so much for coming on. So you can imagine over time, a lot of people, it is a problem with our men. I mean, our women, what some of our women cause in the home. If you know, if I know the program that I had on the radio, if you see so many women that had called me and they are asking, so what do I do? What do I do? How do I now resolve this issue? It is based on my husband. I knew that he didn't have, it's over time, I did not have, I couldn't conceive, and I had to do this, I had to do that. I think that is very wrong. That is very, very wrong. When you know you are with a man that cannot father a child, it will help you strengthen the love that exists between you by calling him, Oni, this and this is what I noticed. Can we go to the hospital? And when you know that the guy is not coming forth or is not agreeing with you, there is no need putting a lot of burden on yourself. You can sever the relationship and get another person that can father a child through you, instead of bringing another person's child into that home and causing a lot of future heartbreak, heartaches, and depression. Well, we are going to consequences now. But I need to tell you as a lawyer that presently there is no legal definition. I've checked, even in our criminal codes, most especially because, of course, the word fraud that is attached to that paternity. I've checked, there is nothing like that. And of course, there is as there is no punishment defined. I mean, as there is no definition for it, there is also no definition for the punishment. There is no punishment that is placed on it presently. The only thing there will just be revelation. Of course, the highest the court can do is to order for a DNA test. And when the DNA test is done, then the man will know that I am not the father of these children. And whatever age. And I've been in court. I think I said it in part one of this program. I have been in courts where the court ordered that a DNA test should be done on some children. Two men were fighting on these children, and at the end of the day, when the results came in, none of these men, none of them was the father of those children. We were all surprised in court, and everybody was like, ah, ah, ah. And the judge on the seat had to really lashed out on that woman. And that would be the end. Sometimes no compensation. Because sometimes, even when the child does not belong to the man, except the man places enough evidences to show that no, I can't let go of these children, even to the biological father, unless he places such before the court and is asking the court that even though there is revelation that I am not the father, because of what I had expended on these kids, on these children, from birth till now, believing that they are mine, I want the court to order that they should be with me. And since it will be placed on the pendulum of the way, the balance of justice, maybe maybe the judge will now pronounce that, well, the children can go with the man that has been spending on them and not on the biological or biological father. I can say, Ademola Adeniyi, my brother, how are you, sir? How is the court? Well done. So this is the legality behind it. No definition of law, no punishment prescribed. Is it going to continue this way? Are we going to continue this way, whereby this evening, it is gender and the law? And ordinarily, as your advocate on here, we're supposed to protect, nurture, and nurture the issue of our women, and also prevent, abuse on them, prevent, violence against our women. However, we will not cover the truth with this topic. A lot of our women are not doing it well at all. They are not. They are not. And it's very, very sad. The consequences are, you see, it's enormous. When the truth is revealed, a lot of men go into depression. Many of them don't come out from it. Many of them don't come out from such depression. Apart from depression, you can imagine the heartache. You can imagine the heartache. A man that had, maybe is a civil servant, his salary, the business, they also, he uses such also, to take care of the kids, not knowing that those kids are not his. And eventually, when he now knows, what does he do? Is it that he will now claim the money? Some school of thought, I know some men had talked to me and they said, let him just add up all the money that he has spent on those kids. That let him just add up. Yes, Sonia, men can only imagine it. Yeah. But of course, if it happens, these are the consequences. I've had some men say, he will just, what he needs to do is just to add up all the money he has spent. Can such money be added up? No, excuse me. Can such money be added up? Can such be summed together? I'm just wondering. Sometimes such a child is ill and sick, and it is this father, the supposed father, the frauded pattern, the man that has been frauded, that has been, that it will be going up and down. Can that be quantified with money? Can you quantify, emotion? Can you quantify? I don't know what I will use to qualify it. The ties, the emotional ties that a man had with a child. Can you quantify that with money? I say some men go into depression and they don't come out of it. It ruins them forever. It ruins them forever. A man that has brought children up to the age of 30, 40 years, sometimes 40, 20 something, and just discovering that that child is not mine. It's harrowing. And we are talking about even the father now that has been defrauded of their paternity. What about those children? Excuse me. A child that that is too attached to a man, thinking that this is my dad, this is my dad. How will such a person shift his gaze away from this man and just move to this man? Is it just, can it just be done like that? So you can imagine where we're coming from. And it's very sad that that is what our society is. In the part one that I did those weeks back, I know statistics is saying that after Jamaica, Nigeria is next in line to Jamaica on the the high numbers of, you know, paternity fraud that is committed in a country. We are the second. Nigeria is the second, is the next in line compared to Jamaica. I think Jamaica tops the charts. So our women, we need to watch it. So these are some of the consequences. Of course, the, the emotional heartbreak, the money that has been spent. What about the money that has been spent? What about the economic, the economic aspect of it? And a whole lot is enormous. So please, as a woman, I'm begging our women, let us stop this. It is not compulsory to be joined with a man where you know such a man doesn't want to go on a good journey with you. If he doesn't want to go the line with you or the hug with you, and you know you'll be the one that will bear the brunt, sever the relationship. A lot of our women are dying of heartaches. A lot of women are dying, suffering emotional wreck. But it's needless. You don't need to suffer that. You can sever it and you will move on in life. And you will rid your heart and conscience of several heartache that that can cause you. So the poster I will now be putting up, that I will put up. I think I will do that after I will have translated all that I'm saying to Yoruba, because I need our women. I need this thereby. Let us stop this. We need to watch it as women. Ẹ ṣeun ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa. La pastor, thank you very much for coming online. Mr. Akibu Akinsa is always here anytime I come online. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. We are just part one sometimes ago, and I want to end it today so that we can go to another topic next week. Ẹ ṣeun o gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń wò mí, and gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ tún máa wò mí nígbà tá a bá fi òtélé ìkànnì nǹkan tá à ń ṣe yìí. Nǹkan tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ̀ náà ni gbígbé ọmọ bàfọ́ṣun, ká máa ja àwọn ọkùnrin wa lólè, pàápàá jùlọ àwọn obìnrin. Bó tiẹ̀ ṣe pé ètò yìí wà fún àwọn obìnrin jù, láti ràn wá lọ́wọ́, láti ṣààbò lórí wa, láti protect wa, láti nurture wa, láti gbé wa gẹ̀gẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n àwa ò lè pọ́n irọ́ ká máa pọ́n irọ́ tà. A dẹ̀ lè gbé nǹkan, a lè fi òrí ká fi lẹ kọ́bọ̀ lójú. A máa sọ òótọ́ fúnra wa. Kí ni òfin sọ nípa ẹ̀? Bó tiẹ̀ jẹ́ pé bí mo ṣe ń sọ ká gbé ọmọ bàfọ́ṣùn yìí, nǹkan tá a fẹ́ sọ ń pẹ̀ ni pé kí lòfin wa sọ ń pẹ̀ àti pé kí làwọn nǹkan tó máa ń fà. A ti sọ nípa ẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ ní bí ọ̀sẹ̀ mẹ́rin sẹ́yìn. A dẹ̀ ti sọ nípa, a sọ bó ṣe wà sí, a dẹ̀ ti sọ kí làwọn nǹkan tó ń fà á. So ẹni tí ò bá gbọ́ mi nígbà yẹn kó lọ wo fídíò yẹn. Ṣùgbọ́n nísìnyí a fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa kí ni òfin sọ ń pẹ̀, kí dẹ̀ ni àwọn nǹkan tó wá máa ń fà. A ti sọ nǹkan tó ń fà, kí ló wá máa ń fà? Kí ni ká gbọ́mọ bà fọ́ṣùn, kí ló fà? Lákọ̀ọ́kọ́, ó ṣe ní láàánú wípé òfin ò tiẹ̀ define, òfin ò sọ pé ìgbọ́mọbà fọ́ṣùn o, nǹkan tó jẹ́ ní paternity fraud bó ṣe jẹ́ ní, òfin ò sọ̀rọ̀ ń pẹ̀. Kò dẹ̀ tún wá fi ìjìyà sí. Ní tí ò tiẹ̀ sọ ń pẹ̀, báwo ló ṣe máa fi ìjìyà sí? So kò fi ìjìyà sí, kò dẹ̀ sọ nípa ẹ̀ rárá. Ṣùgbọ́n nítorí pé kò sọ nípa ẹ̀, ò sọ wípé ká má sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ̀ torí àwọn nǹkan tó ń da àwùjọ wa láàmú ni. Kò sí, èèyàn rò kò ríro pé ọkùnrin kan lè wà nínú ilé tí ó ti ń rò ó, tó ti ń dunnú pé àwọn ọmọ yìí ọmọ mi ni. Lẹ́yìn ọdún 10, 20 ọdún, 30 ọdún, àwọn míì gan-an 40 ọdún lẹ́yìn ẹ̀ náà tó máa mọ̀ pé ọmọ yìí o kò ń ṣọmọ mi. Àtàbí àwọn ọmọ yìí o wọn kì í ṣàwọn ọmọ mi. Kí ló dé? Ẹ̀yin obìnrin wa, kí ló dé? Tá bá ń pọ̀rọ̀ yìí náà lówó tó ńlá ronú, kódà kò sí nǹkan tán fi lè wé àìdá nì, kò dá rárá. Agbọ́mọbà gbé wá sílé Ọ̀ṣun, agbọ́mọ Ọ̀ṣun lọ sílé ọba, asorun wájú pọ̀ mọ́ tí pàkọ́, kódà kò dá rárá. Bí òfin ò tilẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ ń pẹ̀, mo ti sọ fún wa wípé mo ti wà nílé ẹjọ́ rí ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà tó jẹ́ pé adájọ́ ti ní kí wọ́n lọ ṣe tẹ́ẹ̀sì fún àwọn ọmọ kan táwọn bàbá méjì ń jà nípa wọn. My darling, Lufe Bags, Adedayo, how are you? Dúdúyẹmí, good evening, thank you. So mo ti wà ní kóòtù rí tádájọ́ ní kí wọ́n lọ ṣe ní kóòtù ẹbí, èyí tá à ń pè ní family high court, tí adájọ́ ní kí wọ́n lọ ṣe tẹ́ẹ̀sì fún àwọn ọmọ kan táwọn bàbá méjì ń jà nípa wọn. Ẹ jẹ́ mọ̀ pé nígbà tán máa gbé tẹ́ẹ̀sì dé, kò sí kankan náà bàbá méjèèjì tó jẹ́ bàbá àwọn ọmọ yẹn. Ọ̀rọ̀ gbogbo wa là ń wò pé káwá ni ìyàwó ìdẹ̀wà ńlé ẹnìkan ló dẹ̀ tún rò pé ó ní bàbá àwọn ọmọ yẹn. Nígbà tí wọ́n máa dé, tí adájọ́ ló yá kán lọ ṣe tẹ́ẹ̀sì fún wọn, tán máa gbé tẹ́ẹ̀sì dé, àti bàbá o àti bàbá ilé àti àlè ìta, kò sí kankan náà méjèèjì tán jẹ́ bàbá ọmọ yẹn. Àwọn ọkùnrin nígbà tí irú nǹkan báyìí bá ṣẹlẹ̀, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ lé àwọn ọkùnrin tó jẹ́ pé ó máa ń jẹ́ ìrora ọkàn fún wọn. Ẹ̀rẹ́ lomi akọ̀dédé akọ̀dédé bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní tó ń pè ní ẹ̀jẹ̀ ríru, ìfúnpá máa ga, á máa ga. Tí ìfúnpá bá wá ga títí tó bá yá, àwọn míì wọn kì í bọ́ ń bẹ̀. Ṣé a wá ń fi ìyè yìí ṣe ìjìyà fáwọn ọkùnrin ni àbí bó o? Ẹlòmíì ò kì í bọ́ ń bẹ̀. Ọkùnrin tó, apart from pé kọkùnrin pé ó ti ń náwó lé àwọn ọmọ igan lórí látọjọ́ ìwá, ká fi owó sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ kan. Ní tí ò dáa kò dáa o. Ká wá tún gbé towó náà wò. Ọkùnrin tó ti náwó bí ọdún 10, 15, 20 ọdún lórí ọmọ kan, tó sì ti ní ọkàn pé irú ọmọ yìí gbogbo òdì tí mò ń gbà yìí, gbogbo òdì tí mò ń gbà lára yìí, ọmọ yìí á fi sun iná fún mi yá ni. Á wá rí mọ̀ létà pé ọmọ yìí ò ń ṣọmọ òun. Kò dáa rárá. Bradley Chapman, you are late this evening, but thank you very much for coming online. You can watch it later, I know. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right. So, kò dáa rárá. àwọn ọkùnrin kan tiẹ̀ ti pè mí lẹ́yìn torí ìgbà tí mo lọ sórí rédíò lọ sọ̀rọ̀ ń pa àwọn kinní wọ́n ti pè mí wọ́n ní ẹ ṣe bírú àwọn ẹni tó bá lòun lọ́mọ tó lòun ti ń náwó lórí ẹ̀ á ro gbogbo owó yẹn pọ̀ ni tó bá ti ro gbogbo owó yẹn pọ̀ á dẹ̀ san fún á san fún. Mo ní ẹ fọ̀rọ̀ rora wa wò ká tó dọ́mọ ẹyẹ lóró yẹ ká fi rora wa tó bá yẹ pé àwa la wà nírú inú ẹni yẹn ń kọ́ then irú àwọn tó sọ yẹn gan ṣé a lè sọ̀rọ̀ owó nínú àwọn nǹkan míì ṣé a lè fowó wé pé ọmọ tó jẹ́ pé nígbà míì ó máa ṣàìsàn tí bàbá yìí tó jẹ́ pé ó máa ṣàìsùn lórí àwọn ọmọ náà kì í ṣe ìyá nìkan ló ń ṣàìsùn bàbá tó ń rò pé ọmọ yìí ọmọ mi ni tó dẹ̀ ń ṣàìsùn lórí ọmọ náà ṣé owó wo ló lè ra irú àìsùn bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn bàbá tó ń lọ tó ń bọ̀ tó ń já láńkàtó lórí irú àwọn ọmọ bẹ́ẹ̀ irú owó wo ló lè rà á ẹ jẹ́ ká sọ fúnra wa o nǹkan tí ò dáa kò dáa obìnrin tó bá rí i pé ọkùnrin yóò bá mi fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ láti jẹ́ kí n róyún ní láti jẹ́ kí n bímọ pé jókòó kó sọ pé mo fẹ́ move on mo fẹ́ máa lọ mi ò fẹ́ gbé nǹkan míì sí orí ọkàn mi ègún ayérayé ni then irú àwọn ọmọ yẹn gan ń kọ́ ká bá ní pé ọkùnrin yẹn gan ó dáa ó ní wàhálà yẹn o ọkùnrin máa ní ẹ̀jẹ̀ rírun ó máa kú dànù tó bá yẹ pé ìjìyà lẹ́fí yẹn náà ń kọ́ táwọn ọmọ yẹn náà bá lọ mọ̀ ń kọ́ irú ìyá wo lẹ fẹ́ jẹ́ lójú irú àwọn ọmọ yẹn. ó nìyí o so mo wá fẹ́ mọ̀ nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ gbé jáde nìyí o fẹ́ béèrè mo fẹ́ kẹ́yìn èèyàn kẹ́ lọ comment wípé ǹjẹ́ nǹkan tó máa gbé ọ̀rọ̀ yìí nídìí tí kò ní jẹ́ pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà ilé ẹjọ́ ni ilé ẹjọ́ máa dá o ilé ẹjọ́ bọ́n ṣe máa ń sọ kò kí ń ṣe baba kérésì tó máa fúnni ní nǹkan téèyàn ò gbé síwájú ẹ̀ o pé bóyá ilé ẹjọ́ á rò pé nítorí pé ó ti náwó púpọ̀ pé ó yá máa mọ́ ọmọ lọ rárá o àfi tó bá jẹ́ pé wọ́n béèrè a rí i pé èmi kọ́ ni àfihàn ìdánwò that is test tó ní kán lọ ṣe yìí pé bó bá tẹ̀ jẹ́ pé àfihàn yìí ò ṣó pé èmi ni mo ní ọmọ yìí o nítorí gbogbo ohun tí mo ti ṣe lórí ọmọ kí ilé ẹjọ́ pàṣẹ pé èmi náà ni bàbá ọmọ náà òní ilé ẹjọ́ wa máa gbé wò ó wọ́n á gbé wò ó ẹni tó bá ti délé ẹjọ́ rí á rí i pé ìyá kan wà ń bẹ̀ nílé ẹjọ́ báyìí níwájú ilé ẹjọ́ máa ń gbé sí wọ́n fi aṣọ dì lójú ó mú ìdà dání ó dẹ̀ gbé nǹkan tá à ń pè ní scale dání scale yẹn ọwọ́ méjì ni. so irú nǹkan báyìí téèyàn bá ṣe nílé ẹjọ́ wá gbé sórí àwọn scale yẹn eléyìí tó bá gbé wọ́n jù nínú ọkàn adájọ́ ẹ̀jẹ̀ má dẹ̀ jẹ́ ká wọn ṣàjábọ́ látọ̀run wọn sì ń ṣe màláìkà. Ọmọwùmí Badmus ìyá ṣe dáadáa ní ẹ kálẹ̀ o and Akitan Bukola Mercy I appreciate you for coming online. so ẹ má jẹ́ ká gbàgbé pé àwọn adájọ́ wa yìí náà èèyàn ni wọ́n àárín àwùjọ wa náà ti jáde wọ́n ń ṣáńgẹ́lì látọ̀run wọ́n ń ṣe màláìkà tó ń tá a bá gbé síwájú adájọ́ ládájọ́ ó wò gbéyẹ̀wò ládẹ̀wà gbé sórí òṣùwọ̀n láwò pé títa ló kún jù. so àwọn obìnrin tá a bá ń ṣe ìbàjẹ́ yìí ẹ jẹ́ ká stop ẹ jẹ́ ká dẹ́kun ẹ̀ kò ń ṣèwà tó dáa rárá kò ń ṣèwà tó dáa. lábẹ́ mo wá fẹ́ jọ ká comment àwọn kinní náà a máa gbé yẹ̀wò ẹ jẹ́ ká comment ẹ jẹ́ ká sọ ṣé ó yẹ ìjìyà dẹ̀ yẹ kó wà fún un. èmi rò pé bóyá tí ìjìyà bá wà fún un tí òfin bá wà tí ìjìyà dẹ̀ wà bóyá àwọn obìnrin wa máa dẹ́kun ẹ̀ á jẹ́ kí sanity wà á jẹ́ kí ẹ̀tọ́ wà ní àárín ìlú láàrin ọkọ síyàwó kò ní máa rò pé kémi ṣàti bímọ ń tèmi ni ní tó bá wù ú kó ṣe kò ní wáyé. Barrister Florence Omolara Omoremi, good evening. Thank you so much for coming online. Yes, Bradley Chapman is saying the years used in taking care, nurturing, and connecting with the child needs to be taken into consideration. Yes, I think so too. But you have to prove this before the court. You have to place it before the court that, my lord, I have nurtured this child. I have taken care of these children. I have spent so much on them. I have connected with these children that I can't even bring myself to think that I am not the father. So whether the text says I am the father or not, I still want the court to pronounce that I am the father and I should keep taking care of these children. And that is why I will ask, and that will be my final notes on this part two, that I want us to comment, as many of us that had come online. And when you share for me, it makes a whole lot of sense, because when people watch it, they'll be able to comment back. I want to hear your comment. Should there be law backing this paternity fraud? Should there be a definition of law for it in Nigeria? And if there is definition, should there also be punishment for our women that had carried out on? Should there also be punishment for our women that had carried out or that had done that? Or should it just be damages? Should it be that men that maybe the biological father that are now come into the picture, that they want to claim their children, should they pay damages? Because a lot of time, even this biological father, sometimes they are in connivance with these women. They are in connivance with these women. They join them to perpetrate the fraud. Some of them will say they want to claim these children, and the woman will say, "Sure, no, where do you have the money to take care of these children? You better let me go on. Let him continue to take care of them." The children will know their father later. That is not good. I have cancelled on it, and I've watched it also. I've watched some of them in courts. That is why, I can come on to talk about it. Come on air to talk about it. It's a whole lot disheartening to hear that. I appreciate you for coming online, everybody. Thank you so much for staying tuned with me. Thank you for joining me live. I want to hear your comments on this, because this program, this part two, will be the end, will serve as the end to this paternity fraud discussion. Unless I see some comment that will still need me to shed more light or to talk about it. But you can join me on Lagelu FM tomorrow morning by 10 a.m. It is between 10 and 11. I will be with Chiquito on True Talk with Chiquito, and we will also be talking on this issue, paternity fraud. It has a whole lot of dimension. Yes, Oluade Covenant is saying, likewise, my curiosity focuses on the affection shared as father to child and otherwise. Yes, such affection can it can it commensurate with money? Can it be on the same pedestal with money? Yes, Bradley Chapman is also saying, should there be a maternity test taken every time a child is born? Well, since such a child, such a mother will say, I carry this this child in my womb for 9 months. Of course, there may not be need for maternity test. But a whole lot of time, because while I finished from Lagelu FM last week, Sunday, somebody called me and told me, what about this swapping of children in the hospital? That a whole lot of time, children are swapped in the hospital. And when they are swapped like that, when paternity test is carried out, of course, the child may not even belong to the men. And if they do maternity test too, fine. Even such a child may not belong to that woman, will be coming on that. The legality or otherwise of swapping children in the hospital. That is under medical law. We will also treat that very, very soon. But this one is when a woman, in connivance or not with another man, bring a child of a different man into her home and foist it on her husband that the husband is the father. It is a serious fraud. On this note, I'll be calling it quits this evening. Until next time, when I will come on Your View again, discussing another topic, another issue. I remain yours, one and only advocate online, Deborah Oluyemisi Collins. I'll see you next week. Peace out. Thank you. Bye.